And,
Wow.
and to say like the mucusless diet. The mucusless diet is on the cutting edge of the natural way of healing yourself all over the world. This is where everybody's coming to now. They have to. All the raw foodists, the vegans, they're coming this way now because they see that they didn't have a system. The mucusless diet system is the only real system that can be tempered by only you and your body and your physiology. It's different for everybody. So you might use cottage cheese on the transition.
You mean someone could start with that trying to get off of something else?
Well, Professor did. Professor used it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
He used it.
What is that the substitute for?
Well, this was his
Dairy.
This was his dairy sweet. He had a sweet tooth and I guess the cheese and stuff, and he would use it. He would use the cottage cheese and the dairy and what was it? Cottage cheese, peaches, and dates.
All right. No, it's cottage cheese, applesauce.
Applesauce, yeah.
Dates, and at that time, and brown sugar.
Okay.
And you do not, like, there's nothing better than that. Like, if you craving some pie,
Yeah.
you craving something sweet like that.
That was, yeah, but
Yeah.
you don't do do you still do applesauce and?
No, I tell you what I transitioned to, and then we talk about the incremental changes. So when my body got to a point where it really couldn't handle cottage cheese anymore, I instead used baked banana.
Okay.
And so I would put bananas in the oven for about 20 minutes, about 420 degrees, and there's this little juice that start coming out. That's when you know that the banana's done.
Okay.
And you smush up the banana, combine that with the applesauce.
He used to
with the
go
dates.
nuts. He would call me, man. I couldn't even talk to him. He thought it was so good. He's like, man, it's just, I gotta hang up. I got to eat this. You know.
Yeah. So that shows you how that incremental change, because there's always a better step. You know, there's always something else that you could eat that's gonna be a little cleaner, a little bit better.
Okay.
And so you just sort of work toward that, and you might go back and forth for a minute, and you have a good day, and then you have a day where you're just, oh man, you know, and you're eating a bunch of stuff. But there's certain principles that can help you along the path. Where for me, one of the most important rules is no matter what you eat with your vegetable meal, or if you're going to be eating mucus, always have a big raw salad involved.
Okay.
You know, so you always have a big raw salad, and then you get in the habit of, on top of your raw salad, having some steamed vegetables. I used to do like the steamed broccoli and steamed cabbage.
Well, that's another thing. That's another thing is I guess you should talk about preparing your own foods. A lot of us don't like preparing our own foods. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's easy, especially for musicians such as me and Professor, to be getting out of a gig at 1 or 2 in the morning and hit a fast food. That was something that we had to end. You know, I mean, it was like, if I was hungry, I'm going home and prepare my food at 2 in the morning. I'm gonna be up eating,
Right.
or juicing, or doing whatever it was. So that's another thing is getting into preparing your own foods. Now, I haven't eaten in a restaurant since 1983. So Professor has been probably about 12, 13 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So talk about your restaurant eating, man. It was almost.
That was the main reason why, like, because there are some Mucusless diet practitioners that do eat in restaurants, you know, or they go to the salad bar or whatever, but I knew that I had to scrap it because restaurants for me was basically like a crack house.
Okay.
Because the way that I used to eat was so bad, because I would just overeat so much, you know, because I sit down, I'd go to, I know. So you're a Cincinnati. You know Sharonville. You heard of that foot-long stand over there?
No.
Root beer stand. There's a root beer stand. I'm pretty sure it's still there.
Yeah.
I used to get 2 foot-longs with chili and cheese, a cheeseburger, a root beer float, just a regular root beer and fries in the same meal once a week, all through the spring and summertime, because they only were open from like March until September.
Wow. And you ate all of that?
I ate all of that in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah.
And people, because we would go there after, because I used to be a football player, so we would go there after football practice, and the guys would be looking. These are guys, because I was the second biggest offensive lineman, you know,
Yeah.
and I wasn't necessarily that big if you compare, because 240 and 250 isn't necessarily that big for a lineman in high school, but we were a smaller team, but it's not small.
Right.
And but they would just look at me like, dang, man, because they just couldn't eat that stuff.
And you sleep with a CPAP unit.
Yeah, well, it got real bad. Yeah, I was sleeping with a CPAP unit at night because they say I had sleep apnea, because I was real tired all the time and I could never really get good sleep, and that was because I wasn't getting enough oxygen when I was sleeping, because I was so clogged up all of my nose and everything. I mean, I had bronchitis all the time, almost every year.
And this all ended after you changed your diet?
I lost 100 pounds within 6 months. I got off of the CPAP unit within a couple months of really getting serious with
all
the
the
diet.
medication.
The medication I've been on since I was 7 years old. They had me on Allegra and all Zyrtec and all that nonsense. I was just, it was, and I'm not gonna say that it was like easy to turn everything around, but once I got the momentum going and I just applied the principles, it just started happening. And before I knew it,
and it was somebody to plug into. I think that helped.
Just having someone to
because
that was key. Cause, you know, Brother Aaron, his family were there, you know, practicing the diet for so many years, and so I was able to just really. I was always over at Brother Aaron's house, just learning how, because I didn't know how to cook. I'd never cooked. And so
I remember the day when we sat there and did the stir fry. And I was like, okay,
the onion stir fry,
and how to do that.
And I was like, man, that tastes good.
So it was literally a hands-on type of thing. I guess that kind of session that costs like $1,000 now. If they want the Brother Aaron and the professor.
Right.
But what we just heard was a great testimony from Professor about what he went through, how he went through this thing, came out on the other end, you know. So, you know, those testimonies are crucial, man, where people can understand. I mean, there's people, and I guess they'll be seeing it in the future. A lot of the testimonies, we're getting ready to start running testimonies.
From other people.
Well, and what gets real for me, because I've kind of started to branch out, and I do consultations and I work with people, and you know, when a lot of people don't come at you if they feel good, they come at you when they don't feel good, you know, or they had something. So I'm starting to see really chronically ill people, and I don't have a sanitarium to work with them, but I have enough knowledge and enough sort of, you know, I know how to transition somebody and that kind of thing. And so, I mean, I got people that came to me, you know, we don't like to use the words of disease. Those are cuss words.
Cuss words,
you know, but somebody comes with me with the C word, and then it's like, all right, well, as long as you're dedicated to get on this path, and I can work with you, and then you can heal yourself. And I mean, they stacking up, you know. Folks, the woman I just talked to yesterday is like big old tumor. They wanted to do all kinds of stuff to her, and she said, you know what, no. And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna find another way. And you know, now the tumor's gone.
And what happens is people try to come when you're there on their deathbed. I mean, I have people inboxing me, Professor has people inboxing when they're on their deathbed. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, it's
like, you sitting there, you know, trying to, you know, look at this message like, dang, man, and I'll call Professor, I'll be like, man, so-and-so, you be like, man, she hit me up or he hit me up, and it's like, if you would have came 2 or 3 years ago,